Prince Harry has landed himself in a storm he can't charm his way out of. Forget palace gates or plush curtains. There's no royal velvet to shield him now. No PR squad spinning chaos into a minor hiccup. It's just Harry, exposed, ceremonially, erased, standing smack in the crosshairs of both Parliament and the relentless British tax authorities. The very powers he once snubbed are circling with hawk-like precision. And it all kicks off with a move that screams, "This is serious." The UK Parliament hasn't whispered, hinted, or joked. They've dropped an actual bill. A cold, hard law aimed straight at Harry. If it passes, it would legally yank the Duke of Sussex title. That single moniker, Duke of Sussex, isn't just a fancy label, it's a cash-generating brand. It's what opens Hollywood doors, makes Netflix execs actually answer, and convinces publishers to plaster his name on covers with seven-figure deals. Rip it away, and all that's left is Harry, no title, no official clout, no special leverage. Just some guy in California hustling for fame without the royal magic dust. But Parliament wasn't done. In a jaw-dropping move, Harry's name was called out loud during the debate. Not a royal, not a former family member. Nope, one. MP didn't mince words, he called it straight out. Abandon your royal duties, insult the monarchy, then flaunt your title in Los Angeles like it's a golden ticket. Consequences are inevitable. And they're barreling down fast. The timing couldn't be crueler. While Parliament toys with slicing Harry's title, HM Revenue and Customs has slammed down a separate hammer, an overdue tax bill of roughly $800,000, and the shocker. He has just 3 days to pay. Not 3 months, not by fiscal year end 3. Days. This isn't a polite nudge, it's a financial guillotine. Fail? And the UK. The UK has every right to seize assets, launch legal action, and drag him through public humiliation. For a man who once saluted from palace balconies in uniform, flew helicopters in war zones, and married under global scrutiny, it's a dizzying fall. But maybe the real shock isn't the drop hits, the isolation. Meghan Markle staying silent. The palace completely indifferent. Netflix quietly stepping back. The British public watching his meltdown like the latest sports drama. And the trending hashtags aren't gentle. Not a duke. Pay your taxes, Sussex. Scam. These aren't jokes. They're the social media news tightening. They're proof the tide is turned. Harry is no longer the daring prince dodging tradition. He's the man who ran, cashed out, and now can't cover his bills. Behind the curtain, Archewell is reportedly under scrutiny. Rumors swirl about shady expenses, irregularities, and a brand fading faster than it ever arose. One exec allegedly called the Sussex brand radioactive. And in Hollywood, where stability rules and baggage gets you blacklisted, that's basically a career death sentence. So where does that leave Harry? Teetering on a cliff, watching the title he once flaunted slip through his fingers, and his fortune crumble into chaos. Watching the country he abandoned remind him that freedom comes at a price, and a steep one. With no royal shield, no PR spin, and no safety net, Harry faces one brutal choice: pay up or lose everything. Meghan Markle's silence is ringing louder than any public defense ever could. For someone whose brand thrived on curated vulnerability, podcast revelations, and Netflix specials dripping with personal drama, the sudden hush is deafening. People expected her to jump in, post something, make a statement, show a hint of solidarity. Instead, nothing. No photo, no quote, not even a vague repost. And insiders claim this isn't forgetfulness, it's strategic. Behind closed doors, Meghan is reportedly stepping back, carefully distancing herself from the fallout. With Archewell shelved, Spotify deals axed, and the Netflix contract hanging, by a thread, the empire she's been building is under pressure. And cozying up too closely to Harry's freefall could drag her down too. In Hollywood, perception is everything. You don't cling to chaos unless you want your own name scrubbed from every marquee. What makes this hit even harder is how unlike past storms it feels. When the couple first left the palace, they were rebels, challengers of an antiquated system. Back then, the world's sympathy was flowing. They told their story, peeled back the icy layers of royal life, and strutted into California like conquerors. But now, the script has flipped. No longer rebels, they're seen as entitled celebrities who cashed in on royalty and are now flabbergasted the bill has come due. And it's not just social media throwing shade. Lawmakers are calling it out loud. One senior MP slammed Harry for flaunting his title while raking in cash abroad, calling it a mockery of public service. Another declared that if Harry wants private citizen life, he must live it no perks. No immunity, just another person paying for his choices. The message is crystal clear. You can't ditch your duties and keep the crown's perks. Meanwhile, Harry's financial strain is starting to show. Monaco isn't exactly a bargain. The mansion, staff, security, lifestyle all racks up fast. And with the UK demanding nearly $1 million in back taxes, eyebrows are raising over whether he even has the cash to cover it. Rumors swirl that Netflix is rethinking future projects. Whispers claim Archewell isn't pulling in enough to cover costs. Some reports suggest they're quietly hunting new deals, desperate to keep the empire afloat. What's worse is how little backing he's getting from the very institutions that once shielded him. Buckingham Palace has drawn a hard line. Insiders reveal King Charles won't step in. Prince William isn't answering calls. Palace lawyers have been ordered to stay out. He wanted Freedom 1-8, allegedly said. He got it. No royal safety net, no legal armor, just Harry, a man who walked away from the firm and now faces the storm alone. And then there's the public. In the UK, support for stripping Harry's title is soaring. Polls show over 70% in favor, not from spite, but principle. The public feels betrayed. The public sees Harry's choices not as bold, but as opportunistic. And as that perception spreads, the chances of Parliament showing mercy shrink daily. Now he's boxed in. The title could vanish. The cash is dwindling. Support has evaporated, with Meghan keeping her distance and the palace silent. Harry faces something entirely new: raw, unapologetic accountability. And the worst, this might just be the opening act. The tax bill could be the tip of the iceberg. When institutions like Parliament and HMRC start digging, they rarely stop at the surface. The nightmare isn't hypothetical anymore, it's already unfolding. Sources close to the investigation reveal HMRC isn't stopping at the unpaid taxes. They're dissecting Harry's UK earnings, charitable deductions, and all reported income linked to Archewell. Every speech, brand deal, and digital appearance that funneled cash through British channels is under the microscope. And if the numbers don't line up, that $800,000 bill could skyrocket into something far uglier. Insiders whispered that the Archewell Foundation itself might face formal scrutiny, not because it's some shady offshore scheme, but because any nonprofit tied to fame, royalty, and media clout becomes a lightning rod the moment money looks even slightly suspicious. Investigators are said to be probing overlapping business expenses, travel costs tucked under vague outreach categories, and the exact path of Netflix funds. If the books aren't spotless, this won't just be a tax headache, it'll erupt into a public scandal with receipts. And the timing couldn't be crueler for Harry's Hollywood ambitions. Studio execs live by one rule: control. They back brands that are polished, stable, and predictable. Right now, Harry ticks none of those boxes. His reputation is shaky, his finances unstable, and the media firestorm makes him a higher-risk bet. Multiple insiders report that studios have already paused negotiations or shelved Sussex projects entirely, citing public volatility. One dealmaker allegedly said, "We don't do business with headlines," Behind the scenes, Harry's inner circle is thinning. Friends who once hailed his courage are going silent. The sympathetic press is retreating, and donors who once praised the Sussex brand now see it as radioactive. The illusion of control is gone. Royalty doesn't impress courtrooms or tax offices. Without the title, Harry is just another celebrity without a safety net. What makes this collapse so savage isn't only the scale, it's the irony. Harry wanted to escape the weight of royal responsibility. He didn't want to be the spare, the shadow, the man always lingering behind the throne. He pursued a new life, a new country, a new persona. Yet in doing so, he clung to the very thing he claimed to reject. Never stopped flaunting the title. Never stopped profiting from the image of a modern prince. And now that double life is collapsing. The public sees it. That's why the jokes won't stop. Memes of Buckingham Palace plastered with eviction signs. Mock Archewell donation jars, reading, "Help Harry pay his taxes." Viral edits of royal portraits replaced with past due notices. Social media isn't just mocking him, it's analyzing every misstep. Every trending hashtag screams that his downfall isn't private, it's performance art. A slow-motion collapse staged for millions. Meghan Markle's silence is deafening. Her absence reads more like strategy than sympathy. Some say she's waiting to see if the storm passes before acting. Others insist she's distancing completely, prioritizing brand survival over marital optics. Either way, Harry is alone. Once a prince, now a liability. Even the monarchy, once bound to protect, its own has drawn a line. Palisades confirm. They won't intervene, no last-minute rescues, no quiet settlements. This isn't a family squabble anymore. It's legislative, legal, and public. The final strike might not come from Parliament or the media, it could come from within. When Harry grasps that in swapping royalty for relevance, he lost it all. No title, no cash, no protection. It's just a man trapped by the nation he once tried to leave behind, facing consequences no crown can.